For nearly a century, Disney was untouchable. It survived wars, recessions, technological revolutions, and changing generations. Mickey Mouse became one of the most recognized symbols on Earth. Disney didn't just make movies, it defined childhood itself. By the late 2000s, Disney owned everything: Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, ESPN, theme parks on 3 continents. It wasn't just an entertainment company anymore, it was a cultural monopoly. In 2019, Disney's market value crossed $260 billion. Analysts called it the safest media company in the world. Then something strange happened. The magic started fading. Box office failures piled up. Disney Plus began hemorrhaging money. Park visitors complained about prices and experience. Longtime fans turned hostile. Employees revolted publicly, and Wall Street stopped believing the story. Disney didn't collapse overnight. It began breaking slowly, quietly from the inside. The streaming gamble that changed everything. It was selling retention. Every month, the machine demanded something new. Another Marvel series, another Star Wars spin-off, another expensive project designed not to inspire but to prevent cancellations. Budgets exploded. A single season of a streaming show began costing as much as a blockbuster film. Yet, unlike movies, these projects didn't generate box office returns. They vanished into the algorithm, forgotten weeks later. Worse, Disney began cannibalizing itself. Films that once would have earned hundreds of millions in theaters were pushed to Disney Plus to juice subscriber numbers. Each decision traded immediate prestige and profit for short-term growth metrics. And Wall Street noticed. Subscriber growth slowed. Costs didn't. Losses piled up quarter after quarter. The same strategy that once impressed investors started terrifying them. Disney had built the most powerful content library in history, and then gave it away for $7.99 a month. The company wasn't failing creatively by accident. It was structurally bleeding, locked into a model where success required spending more money than it could ever reliably earn back. Streaming wasn't Disney's future, it was becoming its trap. The math didn't work. By 2022, Disney Plus was losing over $1 billion per quarter. Every new subscriber cost more than they were worth. Meanwhile, theatrical releases, the company's historical profit engine, were being sacrificed to feed the streaming machine. Disney had traded a profitable model for an unproven one. And it couldn't go back. When the brand lost its compass, trust is the most valuable asset an entertainment company can have. Once it's gone, no amount of intellectual property can replace it. Disney assumed audiences would stay no matter what, because they always had. Generations grew up with Disney as a constant, something reliable in a changing world. But that assumption became a blind spot. When audiences stopped feeling heard, they stopped showing up. Box office numbers didn't just dip, they sent warnings. Films with massive budgets struggled to break even. Merchandising softened. Brand excitement cooled. The Disney logo no longer guaranteed quality. It triggered hesitation. Internally, the chaos was worse. Leadership changes created whiplash. Strategies shifted midstream. Creators were pressured to produce faster instead of better. Projects were greenlit to fill content calendars rather than tell meaningful stories. The result was dilution. Too many releases, too little impact. Disney didn't run out of talent. It ran out of patience, with its audience and with its own creative process. And here's the most dangerous part. Disney's problems aren't unsolvable, they're self-inflicted. The company still owns the most powerful storytelling machines ever created. But to recover, it would need to do something it hasn't done in years. Slow down. Take risks on quality instead of volume. Re-earn trust instead of assuming it. Because Disney isn't falling apart due to one bad movie or one failed strategy. It's struggling because it forgot the very thing that built the empire in the first place. Magic only works when people believe in it. Internal chaos and the leadership problem. What Iger walked back into wasn't the Disney he left. The company was bloated, reactive, and divided against itself. Decisions that once took years of careful development were now made in weeks to satisfy algorithms and quarterly earnings calls. Creative teams no longer argued about how to make something great, only about how fast it could be delivered. Streaming had rewired the entire organization. Budgets spiraled upward while returns shrank. A single underperforming show could burn through hundreds of millions of dollars without leaving any lasting cultural footprint. The old model, where box office success, merchandise, and park synergy reinforced each other, had quietly exited. Writers and directors complained about interference and creative whiplash. Employees who once saw Disney as a dream employer now described it as just another corporate machine chasing trends. Meanwhile, Wall Street lost patience. Disney's stock fell sharply. Activist investors circled. Cost-cutting replaced imagination as the company's loudest priority. Layoffs followed, further eroding trust inside the walls. Bob Iger tried to course-correct, scaling back content, restructuring divisions, refocusing on franchises. But the damage wasn't just financial, it was emotional. Disney had trained its audience to expect wonder, and instead delivered exhaustion. It had trained its creators to think long-term, then forced them into a churn cycle. And here's the uncomfortable truth. There is no single fix. No CEO swap, no hit movies, no streaming tweak. Disney's crisis isn't about leadership alone. It's about identity. For decades, Disney knew exactly what it was. A storyteller first, a business second. Somewhere along the way, that order flipped. Until Disney decides which one matters more again, the cracks won't disappear. They'll keep spreading. The real reason. Disney is falling apart. Disney isn't collapsing because audiences stopped loving its characters. It's collapsing because Disney forgot why those characters mattered in the first place. In the pursuit of scale, discipline disappeared. In the chase for relevance, universality was sacrificed. And in the race to dominate streaming, profitability was left behind. The company that once mastered patience began flooding the market. The studio that famously said no to protect quality started saying yes to everything. Disney didn't lose its magic, it watered it down. And dilution is lethal to brands built on emotion. For decades, Disney understood that scarcity created value. Movies were events. Characters were introduced carefully. Stories were allowed to breathe, grow, and age into culture. Today, that restraint is gone. Instead of anticipation, there is exhaustion. Instead of wonder, there is content. Instead of timeless stories, there is an endless pipeline designed to feed algorithms rather than imaginations. The tragedy is that Disney can still recover. It still controls the most powerful intellectual property portfolio in entertainment history. It still owns characters that shaped childhoods across generations. It still has global reach that competitors can only dream of. But recovery doesn't come from more content. It doesn't come from louder marketing, and it doesn't come from chasing trends. Recovery requires something Disney hasn't demonstrated in years: restraint, the discipline to say no again, the patience to let franchises rest, the courage to protect quality even when Wall Street demands growth. Because the greatest threat to Disney was never Netflix political backlash or changing audience tastes. It was believing it had grown too large to lose its identity. Disney's story is a reminder that no empire collapses because of one bad movie or one bad year. They collapse when success convinces them the rules no longer apply. If stories about powerful companies losing their grip fascinate you, hit the like button and subscribe.